Can you see it now? Okay. So,
Yes.
yeah, okay, I'll begin. So I'm Panuza Parajuli, working as a full stack developer at House. So yeah, I'm happy to attend this event and present in a topic policing with Rubocop on Ruby. So I think most of you might have heard about the Rubocop, and some of you might not have been heard. So for those ones who are new ones and haven't heard about this topic, then it would be very helpful how you can implement Rubocop, how Rubocop detects the errors in the Ruby codes. So before wasting any time, let's get started. Okay, so what if you could write a Sloppy code and have Ruby to fix it for you automatically? So some of you might think that is it even possible? Whoever doubt about the Rubocop or any code formatters, then yes, it is possible with the Rubocop. It is the Rubocop is a Ruby code style checker and formatter, which is generally based on the Ruby style guide. And it was created by the person named, I think, Bozidar Batsap. Uh, I really don't know how to pronounce that name, but yeah, he introduced Rubocop in 2012, and I think the latest version of the Rubocop was recently introduced in September 1st. The version was 1.36.0. Yeah, Rubocop is really flexible. You can configure Rubocop in the configuration file through different configuration options. You can customize it yourself in the project according to your team's need. And in practice, Rubocop generally support pretty much every coding style that you can think of. It officially runtime support MRI 2.6 plus, JRuby 9.3 plus, and so on. Yeah. Now let's talk about the cops. Cops are the each individual checks in the Rubocop, and each one of the cops are responsible for detecting specific offenses. So here I have tried to cover most of the cops on the Rubocop. So I'll be trying to explain each of them individually. So let's start with the style cops. Yeah, Stalkups generally detects code that works, but that does not meet the consistent style. Like here in example, I have shown here, this is a simple, really pretty simple example. This line of code puts if not test. This doesn't seem to be wrong, but it doesn't meet the consistent style. If you run a Rubocop in this line of code, then it shows the error with a message that unless is preferred over if for the negative conditions. Next one is the layout curve. It catches issue related to the formatting such as white spaces, extra lines, and so on. So in this example, here above int, there are some extra spaces and extra lines in the in between puts and ints. So if you run the Rubocop, then it will easily detect the empty line of code and extra spaces are there in the in your code, so you can fix that easily. Next one is the lead curves. Lead curves generally detects the possible errors in your code that doesn't make sense and is probably wrong. Like here in this example, the parameter ID isn't used anywhere in this method. So Rubocop suggests not to use the parameter that hasn't been used anywhere in the method. It is not good practice to include any parameter in the any method that hasn't been used anywhere. So Rubocop's shows the error with the message for this line of code as well. Next one is the metric ops. Metric ops generally deals with the issues which is related to the source code measurements, such as class length or method length. Here in this example, I haven't pasted the whole line of code, whole method in this screenshot, but this method has too many lines. So if you run the Rubocop in this method, then it says that there are too many lines. Rubocop expects 10 lines in the method, but there are 18 lines, so it is showing the error with the message it has too many lines. So yeah, next one is the naming cups. So these cups are generally concerned with the naming conventions. like while writing the method, we need to define them properly. We need to write the correct way of defining the names for the methods. So here in this example, I have shown that the method name starts with the get. So if we write the method name in that way, then Rubocop strictly prohibits that get or set are not allowed on the method names. So it follows the Ruby style guide. So it suggests us to fix the name. Instead of get name, we can just write a name of the method. And the next one is security cuffs. Security cuffs generally checks the implementation of hash method, which combines value using the custom logic instead of delegating array to hash. They can help with catching the security issues. Like in this example, JSON.load isn't secure way of writing the code. So Rubocop suggests us to use JSON.parse instead of the JSON.load. Yeah, and the last one is the bundler cuffs. It checks the bad coding practices in the bundler files, such as gem file. Here in the example, I've shown the simple examples that Rubocop is suggesting us to arrange the gems in the alphabetical order. So it detects the bundler cuffs in the gem files in this way. Yeah, after discussion of every cuffs, Rubocop has a lot more benefits. It can track silly errors very quickly. You can easily track silly errors very quickly without going through each of the lines. So if you have the Rubocop and you have written the lot more code in your code base, and if you want to, if you go through want to go each of the lines, then it is very time consuming. But if you have a Rubocop and just run a Rubocop in your code base, then it will detect all of the possible errors and provides the proper error messages to fix them correctly. And the next one is it aids the you can aid a review process by smashing all of the errors and install deficiency before they get pushed to the report branch. Like for example, sometimes we might have a typo error in our code base, and if we might get mistakenly that pushed, and our reviewers might provide the comments in that, so it might consume the time of the reviewers to provide the comments and to again fix that and again push that code to the remote branch and then get that deployed. So with the Rubocop, it can easily check those types of errors, and you can easily fix them, and yeah, gets them pushed to the remote branch, which will help to avoid the warnings and complaints from your colleagues. Okay, now Rubocop installation is pretty standard, and it is very easy. Just you can type a gem install Rubocop, or you can add gem Rubocop in your gem file, and while writing a gem Rubocop in your gem file, just add extra line of code require false, so that it doesn't get affected. So, and then also you can configure the rubocop.yml file, configure the Rubocop through the rubocop.yml file, which will be placed on the root directory of your project. And after the installation of the Rubocop, you can simply run bundle.exe Rubocop, or just a Rubocop in your project directory, and all the files in your project will be checked through the Rubocop. But if you only want the individual files to be checked with the Rubocop, then you can write Rubocop and a file name, then it will check the source code in individual files. And also you can autocorrect offenses with command Rubocop -a. Yeah, although Rubocop is a great tool, it can sometimes yield the false positive results. So in that case, you can prevent the violation by simply writing a comment in a method with a Rubocop disable. You can disable each individual layouts, like in this way. The Rubocop disable layout and style curves are disabled here, and if you want to disable all the curves in that method, then you can just write a comment on the method with Rubocop disable all. Okay, and now let's see the demo. I have just written a small method which have the many Rubocop, which have the many code errors. And yeah, I forgot to mention that Rubocop also supports the different editors, including Vim, Sublime, VS Code, and I have installed here Rubocop already in this VS Code. So it detects the error in when I write each line of the code in the VS Code. So in this example, there are a lot of the errors. So now let's just run the Rubocop and check how many errors are there in this file. Mm, yeah, now it is saying that there are 15 offenses detected and 11 can be autocorrectable. Let's see what are the errors. There are style cops is detected, has detected the error. Naming cops, there is error with the naming cops, matrices, lint cops, layout cops. So most of the cops I have talked previously have been covered in this example. So okay, let's try and get some of them autocorrectable, and if no, if some of them are remain, then try to fix them manually. Okay, 15 offenses detected and 11 offenses are corrected now. So let's check how many offenses. I think 4 of them are remain. Yeah, most of the errors are gone and only 4 of them are remaining. So let's try to fix each of them manually. So first one is style documentation missing top level documentation comment for class test controller. So Rubocop suggests us to add the comment at the top of the class level. So just write here test Rubocop and save it. So that error is gone now. So next one is the method has too many lines. It is expecting 10, but here are 11 lines. So we can get rid of one of the lines. This is not needed. So let's get rid of this. And now the next one is it is suggesting to write a proper name for the give a proper name for the method. So let's remove the set from the example and check it. Yeah, it is also gone, and it is showing the warning to remove this result variable because it isn't it hasn't been assigned anywhere. So let's remove this line of code. Yeah, it seems all of the errors are gone. Now let's check by command Rubocop. Yeah, now Rubocop says that this method is now clean. All of the issues has been resolved. Now you can post your code and get them tested. Yeah, also now we can configure Rubocop through the Rubocop.yaml file. Here I have only ran the Rubocop for the controllers, and most of the files I have omitted to run by the Rubocop, so which are under the exclude. So if you don't want Rubocop check in some of your files, then you can configure in the configuration file as well. Yeah, after this long of discussion with the Rubocop, Rubocop has so many benefits to a code base, especially in the context of team developers. Even if you don't want to be told how to format your code, but you are not only writing the code because you need to think about the other team developers and the whole project. Because if you have a Rubocop, then you can make a consistent coding style in your project. Everyone can follow the similar coding conventions because each developer might have the different coding style, so might not be following the proper Ruby style code. So for the new, especially for the new developers, they might not know the correct way of writing the code. They might make many mistakes. So if you already have the Rubocop in your project, then it will be very beneficial to learn for them, as well as to maintain the same coding convention throughout the project. Uh, Yeah, so apart from the Rubocop, though it is a great tool, sometimes it might not fulfill your requirements. So there are also other auto formatters like Prettier or Ruby FMT. Prettier was previously only the code formatter for JavaScript, but now it supports many other languages, including Ruby. And also the Ruby FMT is a brand new code formatter that is written in Rust, and it is currently under active development. Though I have mentioned here the alternative auto formatter, but I highly prefer the Rubocop because it is really configurable. It is really flexible, and we can configure Rubocop according to our needs, according to the project need. So Rubocop is highly preferable. Yeah, I have been speaking a lot, so I think that is all from me. If any of you have any questions regarding the slides of the presentation, then I'm open to answer for you.